know of the law are Native Audio, Stage and Lighting, Braham's Texaco. Good afternoon and welcome to another program of In the Know of the Law on STYLZ FM, Jamaica's #1 radio station. My name is indeed Delrose Green. I am a sergeant of police and I'm attached to the beautiful parish of Portland. I have been a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force for 24 years and I love every bit of it. I want to say thanks to everyone that has tuned in this evening. This is your program, In the Know of the Law. Don't touch it down, because at the end of this show, you shall know the law.
You see me, a long time I tell them I'm afraid of nobody.
T-Wiz Records.
You see me, so right now, nobody can stop me from that. Me I go DJ about a thing what everybody afraid of. As far as me know, long as me remember. If you're born and you grow up in a Jamaica, you know when nobody call you not informer. But you see me, very proud informer. Me not do it for myself but for Jamaica. You see me, must be an informer. Me have to make the sacrifice and make the place safer. You see me, must be an informer. Me have a number for the sergeant, the inspector. You see me, must be an informer. And if me can't get this out, me call commissioner. Me an informer because me not support the crime. If you do the crime, do the time, pay the fine. Crime is smashing up this country and we acting like we're blind. We should have put a stop into this thing long time. So if me say a boy with a special or a 9, me go up on my phone, dial 119. Me get the operator all information. In face color clothes, in full complexion. About the icing on the cake in GPS location. Me a stay up on the phone till all the police them reach. Me civic duty, me say yeah that me a preach. So me talking to the parents and the kids and up to teach. They chat on the criminals, them coming like leech. You know how long me want go night beach, but me can't touch the road got too much gunshot a beat. Every night in my house, to the girl me have to pay. But you see me, very proud informer. Me not do it for myself but for Jamaica. You see me, must be an informer. Me have to make the sacrifice and make the place safe.
Thank you very much. I each time I hear that song is like I just want to continue listening it. So you know, I'm asking for some volume on my mic, Mr. Engineer. I want to say thanks to everyone. This has been your program, or is your program, In the Know of the Law. And it is broadcast every Monday and Wednesday at this evening. And the host for the program is indeed yours truly, Delrose Green, Sergeant Green. They call me DG Angel. I want to say thanks to my kind sponsors, Native Audio, Stage and Lighting, Braham's Texaco, of course. Braham has 4 locations in we have in St. Mary, we have 2 in Portland, that's Long Bay and Port Antonio, and we have one in St. Thomas. And of course, Mr. Braham's Texaco actually sells everything. You can all get your grocery in there. It's a one-stop shop, especially in Port Antonio. We get all your snacks and goodies and phone cards and drinks and water, and it's actually more than just a gas station. All right. I want to say thanks also to my new sponsor, Portland STYLZ, and that's at 42 West Street, Port Antonio, the plaza right in front of Army Lane, upstairs where Jacob's Law Firm is. Of course, they open from Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., as also on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They do a number of things there, and they have extractions, cleaning, examination, filling, dentures, root canals, crowns, riffles for braces, etc. Lots of things being done there. You can just give them a call at 876-603-9042. That's 876-603-9042 or 876-422-3333. 876-422-3333. When you go up there, just tell them that you heard about them on STYLZ FM on In the Know of the Law, and you'll get a special discount. All right. A police officer went and did her teeth up there and came back and said she didn't even felt like she was at the dentist. It is so relaxing there. So that's our new dentist at Portland STYLZ, right upstairs at the plaza in front of Army Lane, right where Jacob's Law is, on the law firm up there. Just turn right and you're at Portland STYLZ. Thanks also to our kind sponsor, MT Landscaping Services, over there in Francis Lewis Boulevard, Queens, New York City. And he does everything. I mean, everything in landscaping, and he's good at what he does. It's actually 347-840-4623. So if you're in the New York area or the surroundings, give him a call, 347-840-4623. I want to say thanks to my engineer, Cassidy, who is always here with me. As also, Lady Neve, say good evening, DG Angel. And of course, Janet, from St. Mary is present in class first. This is about the third time you're present in class first, and so I want to commend you. So I only have two persons listening to me this evening, but I really want to tell you that I appreciate you. All right? Wherever you're listening to me from, could you call us or rather WhatsApp us at 876 453 1444. 876 453 1444. Just give us a WhatsApp line. Tell us where you're WhatsApping us from, and how you do you think about the program. So everyone that is listening from St. Mary's, St. Anne, Portland, St. Thomas, Maple and Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston and St. Andrew, St. James, wherever you are listening to my voice, a pleasant afternoon and thanks for tuning in. For everyone in the United States of America, UK, Canada, and everywhere else, I want to say a pleasant afternoon to you. And all the small islands, I want to say a pleasant afternoon to you. A lot has been happening in your in the United States of America. It's spilling over into other places, and so I know it's tense time. And as I watch the videos and I see what is happening, I realize that Black life does matter. I have not spoken to my friend and my brother in a while, and so he is here with me, keeping me company this evening. And I speak none other than the very, very, very nice and charming Mr. MERRICK Damar. Good evening, Mr. MERRICK.
Good evening, Sergeant. How are you today, DJ? How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Queen from Canada, locked in. Good evening, Queen, up there in Canada. Like your suit that you have on your nice red suit. Look like you're a Christian lady in your nice red dress. Maxine from Moreland. Good evening, Miss DG Angel. What's up, sis? I'm good. Mr. MERRICK, I am here. I am alive, and I'm giving God thanks. How you do?
Can't complain, my dear. A little bit troubled as to what's happening in this world, but I'm also curious as to how it's going to play itself out. And we are living in very interesting times, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Before you go and talk about what is happening, the lady, I know you don't cheat on your wife, but that lady never visit you. She never tried to be a part of your life. That lady, I don't even want to call her name.
No, I know. In fact, she ran across my front porch one day when I was in court, and I was told to make sure that she did not leave any fingerprints on my person. So I went quickly and made sure that I was taken care of. The problem is, the person who introduced her to the court ended up dying.
Whoa!
So we were all fortunate. Because we were in the same closed area together arguing our cases.
Are you serious?
And oh Christ, yes. But you know what it was, what it is, and what it might have been for me is strong resistance. Because I practice my little herbs and my good eating and all that good stuff. So, but yes, we were hiding from the lady for a while when we got the instructions to make sure that there were no fingerprints around.
Mr. MERRICK, you say herbs, but you don't talk to Jamaican. You have to define herbs, because
fruits and roots and barks and leaves and vines, everything that is proper that you can get at Coronation Market, Linstead Market, Bogwag Market, or Supermarket.
Mr. MERRICK, I am so glad that my WhatsApp line is lit. I don't know if it's because I hear your voice, but a number of persons. So let me just quickly say good evening to Maxine Moreland. She said good evening, Miss DG. I'm sorry. And good evening. I'm listening from Portland, Kensington, 5087. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's a pleasure to have you. Good evening, Miss Delrose. Tresson from Stony Hill, Portland. How are you? Bless up yourself, Tresson. I am blessed and highly favored. And of course, Content said, Mary said, I listen every day. Annette, thank you very much, girl. I really appreciate it. And of course, we have our all-timer, Kevoy Chambers from Sunny Hill. So good evening, DG, here tuning in. Mr. MERRICK, I'm so sorry to hear that somebody met their death as a result of coming in contact with COVID-19 so near to you.
Unfortunately, there are 8 people that I know personally that would have visited me at my house that I will no longer be able to break bread with. And one of my clients also succumbed to the death. But with my client now was a sad story. He's an older man that has dementia. His son took him from New York to Florida to have him sign over everything to the son. And then when he went and signed over everything to the son left him at a place and told him he'll be right back. Never came back for the father. Started wandering around. Police picked him up, brought him to a nursing home. He contracted the disease, died in the nursing home. They did not know who he was and ended up burning him. See? So a lot of tragedy has happened. A lot of
Mr.
stories
MERRICK,
to tell.
I love to talk, so not very often does anybody get to take my breath or my words away. Are you serious? And that son,
I'm not only serious, DG.
and that
I am
son,
saddened by it.
and that son, Mr. MERRICK, is going to enjoy the legacy of his father peacefully.
Well, I am wondering the same thing because I saw a for sale sign up on the house immediately after the father's death. And I know the guy to be addicted to certain controlled substance and certain illegal substance. And, you know, sometimes you wonder was it all worth it? Because we saw him the other day walking in a zigzag line, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
And he was not altogether lucid. He was not altogether making any sense. God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly.
No, man, and it will not go unpunished. It cannot go unpunished. Mr. MERRICK, you know, I've oftentimes said to persons, and you being an attorney will back me up here, that it is good to make a will. When you are on your foot, strong and hearty, will does not mean a death sentence, right, Mr. MERRICK?
Correct, and you're so correct. In some cases, in 99% of the cases, a will is always protective of your wishes. There's some cases where a will might not be necessary if you can already share up what you need to share up in your lifetime. And, you know, that's a good topic of discussion for another time, which real quickly, I endorse the idea of a will, but I'll teach you the next time around, and I'll teach our audience how to avoid going into probate court and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on probate by doing it a simpler way while you're alive to protect yourself and your kids or your beneficiaries. I'll teach you that next time we speak. That'll be a good topic.
You know, that's a good topic, and we're going to jump on it the next time. I have a will. Mr. MERRICK, I have a will. I have a will.
I love that, but would you believe I don't have one?
No, you need to get one. Well, if the fact that you know that automatically, if anything should happen to you, God forbid, who is next in line is who you really want to get, and then you have no problem.
Correct.
But I can tell you, and you know why I want us to have this discussion, Mr. MERRICK. I learned something the other day. Say, for instance, sake, I have 3 children, and I will out everything that I have to 2. The third child can contest the will.
Sure, and the way around that is to leave $1 to the third child.
A broom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leave $1 and an ice cement to that third child.
Yeah.
With a statement.
Yes. And so, because you say, I left you $1, that's what I think you deserve, so you can't contest. Well, you can contest it, but it won't go anywhere because I acknowledged. So it's not like I did figure out you, and I just, you understand what I mean? But people, I'm going to ask you, Mr. MERRICK, I think Mr. Chambers, an attorney at law, my very good friend, is very busy now. I discuss a will, but these are topics that we can always go back on because there are always things that, you know, my pastor, Bishop Delroy Farr of the Shiloh Apostolic Church, believe in teaching. And on any educational hour, Sunday morning, you can come to our church and hear him discuss these things, insurance policies, will, the importance of having a will. Because
I love that idea.
Because you never, ever know. Mr. MERRICK.
Well, yes, dear.
Does Black Lives Matter? Hello?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
I asked if does Black Lives Matter?
All lives matter. Black lives are important for this world,
Yes.
and it's even sad to isolate one color from the other. But unfortunately, we live in a times where we have to start to highlight that Black Lives Matter. Now, the term Black Lives matters means something different to me than what it means to somebody else. What it means to me is the struggle, the real struggle that we as colored people, Black Americans, and throughout the world have to proclaim in order to be equal. So when we say Black Lives Matter, I don't think it's a statement, period. I think it's a statement with a demand. A statement with a demand for honoring and for recognition. So the statement itself, though powerful it might be, has its sad undertone that we even have to go there to make ourselves respected. And a lot of us, most of us, have earned that respect, but we still have not received that respect because of the color of our skin. Black Lives Matter because we are, in fact, the foundation of humanity and the human race. Mother Africa, it has been proven anthropologically that Mother Africa is the birthplace of the human race.
Mr. Merrick, you said it well. You know what? In the entire George Floyd's scenario, you know what is touching to me? In the demonstrations, and I'm not speaking now about the wanton looting. That's not, I don't think that's a different thing. I don't even want to discuss the looting and the stealing and the breaking of shops. But I'm speaking about the demonstration which they are tagged, I Can't Breathe. Mr. Merrick, what is touching and heart-rending to me is that in these crowds that are chanting from their hearts, I see black, I see white, I see pink, I see yellow, I see a united set of persons. I saw a white woman, I can't remember her name, speaking about and condemning this killing. I mean, when she spoke, I looked at her and I said, I'm quite sure that there are millions of white people that genuinely love black people and vice versa. So,
but, you know, you're so correct in that powerful statement, but I see beyond the color. Let me tell you what I see. I'm living in the United States for a tad over. By the way, I celebrated my 40th. I don't know if I should say celebrate, but I reached my 40th year in the United States, April 16th.
Mr. America, you know, something thinking you celebrated your 40th birthday.
Well, I shouldn't have said celebrate because right now I don't feel like celebrating being here in the United States.
40 years.
I see, yes, 40 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The other day, somebody said to me, 40 years and you talk so bad same way. Anyway, that's another story. What I see, DG, what I see is beyond color. Let me tell you what I see. I see people who are jobless, people who are homeless, people who have lost faith in the political system, people who are unheard. I see young kids graduating with a college degree that cannot find a job, no place to rent, have a huge mortgage on their student loan, and have to go back home to live. I see parents who can't put food on the table. I see coronavirus that came and shut us down for 3 months. We can't breathe, not only in the sense that we have a knee on our neck, but we have a noose of politics around our neck as well. I see older politicians who are not listening to the younger generation's demand. I see chaos. I see a country that don't care anymore. I see the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. And every time something goes bad, the rich tighten the noose around the poor man's neck and raise the price of chicken back and flour. That is what I see.
What? It's
beyond
so sad.
Color.
Mr. America, you know that, you know, in Jamaica, quite a lot of things have raised since this COVID-19. I mean, prices double, prices, I don't know if it do a triple. It is so, so sad. And so what we do is that we use different ways of killing each other. Probably not, I mean, literally. But I can tell you, it's a very powerful statement that you just made and something that we ought to think about. The good news coming out of the United States, Mr. Merrick, is that the 3 other officers on the scene, when a member of the police force pressed his knee on Jared Lee's neck, are being charged with aiding and abetting murder. And the
Yes.
murder case against the main officer is being upgraded to second degree, a newspaper reported yesterday.
And what I like about that is it's second degree without intent. Now, as we know, first degree is intentional
Yes.
and premeditated.
Yes.
And second degree in Minnesota has two components, one or the other. It has intentional or lack of intent.
Right.
And they choose to charge it with the lack of intent, which I think is a much better charge and more sufficient to carry through the trial.
Right.
Now, the second one, which is lack of intent, shows that you should have known better, that you engage in action which in and of itself was a felony. You engage in a crime which was to put your knee on the man's neck for an extended period of time. So you did not have to have the intent of killing him. But while you were committing the lesser included offense of assault, the man lost his life. So there you go with the upgraded felony murder without intent. So I think the reason the system is doing that is because the system is ashamed of the practices of the police. Because even DG Monday night, when we heard about the killing and we saw the killing this past Monday night in Kansas City, which is not far from Missouri, there was this one police officer going from college student to college student, hitting them down, jumping on their neck, putting his knees in their neck, until finally another police officer had to pull his leg off and put it on the man's chest.
Wow.
So even though they say it's not departmental policy, I have seen too many of it in court, on the TV, and in person for me to believe otherwise, that it is in fact policy. It is in fact policy to put your knee on somebody's neck. See? So right now it makes me happy to know that the four of them were finally charged.
We're going to be discussing a number of topics when we return, Mr. Merrick. But on a lighter note, I just want to say that our track star, Mr. Usain Bolt, and Casey Bennett I made a thank you donation to Nuttall Hospital. Sprint Legal Usain Bolt, legend rather, Usain Bolt and his girlfriend Casey Bennett have donated medical equipment and a television to the Nuttall Hospital in St. Andrew. The donation includes 12 digital blood pressure machines and 2 fetal Dopplers. Further to that, the maternity staff received vouchers to dine at the Usain Bolt Track and Records restaurant in St. Andrew. I wonder if could I be a maternity nurse. The donation comes from 2 weeks after the safe delivery of the couple's first child at the hospital. They say that the gift serves as a means of saying thank you for the hospitality, warmth, kindness, and excellent care offered to them in the delivery of their daughter. I am forever grateful to the maternity staff at Nuttall Memorial Hospital for the amazing care we received to give birth safely rather to our beautiful daughter at the same place my mother gave birth to me. Was the most, oh gosh, awesome feeling. Your staff was beyond exceptional. Thank you. Bennett wrote in a tweet today. Wow. That is so sweet. I wonder if she, I wonder if Usain daughter will be able to run though. It would be good if she came up and followed in her father's footstep.
Well, if you really want her to follow in her father's footstep, that's one thing. I want her to let her father know that through his good work and through his inspiration, she becomes better than her father. How is that?
That is awesome. That is awesome. Mr. Merrick, our schools in Jamaica, parents remains closed. But as the Prime Minister have said that the person sitting CXCs and other subjects will return to the classrooms on June 8th for classes and so on. Mr. Merrick, some persons are panicking, and I would ask us not to let us put ourselves in a state of panic. What I have known about high school in Portland, and I'm quite sure that other schools throughout Jamaica is following. They're using this time to open the doors, to do the markings, put the desk the 6 feet apart, see how much classrooms will have to be used. Because remember, this is CXC is 11th grade and upwards, and for the extension classes. So the entire school can be used to facilitate grade 11 and the extension classes. So we should not have a situation where we're cramming up on anybody. And what we need to do, parents, in this couple of days that we have to go, is to continue to teach our children about physical distancing, about cleaning their hands, keeping their hands to themselves, wearing their mask at all times unless you're going to eat, the proper removing and replacing of the mask on the face, etc., etc. Make us educate our children. And I know that by law, they are supposed to have the thermometer, the testing machine for temperature at the schools. They're supposed to have the cleaning things for your hand, sanitizing and so on. It's supposed to be at the school. So I don't think we should panic. What we should do is to teach our children the proper way to make certain that they keep themselves safe as best as possible. And as also to pray that God covers them. And let them get to take part in their exams, because, Mr. Merrick, CXC exam actually determines the future of our children.
Sure. And I'll say this to you, DG. The last time you and I spoke publicly, I said that I only wished that our president here would take one page out of Mr. Holness's playbook, and we in the United States would have been much better off and would have fared much better. Now, I have faith. I've never met the man. I've never voted in Jamaica, and I stand allegiance to no party. I stand allegiance to the Jamaican flag and the Constitution, however, and the goodness of the land. I believe that Mr. Holness has had enough time to examine the possibilities. I believe that he has consulted with good individuals, and I believe his decision is quite powerful, quite lucid, and well decided. I believe that the children of Jamaica, once they follow the rules of social distancing, and once they follow the rules of proper hygiene, will make it through and will, in fact, be more than happy to go back to say their final hello and goodbyes to their classmates and to take that CXC exam.
Yes.
Now, what's in a word? I think that when the World Health Organization and the United States came up with the word social distancing, they made a terrible mistake. And I'll tell you why. When we think of the word social, we think of friendly, we think of people getting together, we think of people that are cordial to each other. If they had used the word physical distance instead, I believe the younger folks would understand it more, that it's not a sociable event, but rather a serious medical event. And I think we got fooled into believing that social distance is supposed to be friendly and cordial. Physical distance, on the other hand, it's not a question, it's an exclamation. Social distance, on the other hand, it sounds suggestive as opposed to exclamation.
Well, Mr. Merrick,
that makes any sense.
I don't want to cut you off because we can continue. When we get back, I'm going to be taking a short break. But I want to tell you again that we Jamaicans have taken the lead because we no longer say social distancing. We took the initiative to realize that, no, we love to socialize. And so we're not telling any social distancing here. Jamaicans love to socialize, whether it's on WhatsApp or across the road. Hey, what going? So we are actually doing physical distancing. We're going to be taking a short break and just continue exactly where we left off before we go into some questions that I have for you, Mr. Merrick. All right, so stay with me and don't go anywhere. Listeners, we're going to be doing a little bit of business and come back, all right? So for the persons who have tuned in, thank you very much for tuning in. Stick and stay with us. We'll be right back with you after these short messages. This time signal is brought to you by Braham's Texaco, 15 Arbor Street, Port Antonio. We remain open 24 hours every day for your convenience. The time is 5:33 p.m.
I'm tired of you on this pop down jalapeno, you know. Watch there. We all run out of gas now.
But babes, me think the quarter tank could have carried from Kingston come up Port Antonio. Boss man, which part around here is the nearest gas station there?
Yeah man, right to the road man. Braham's Texaco right to SA there.
So bossy, me can get one cup of coffee, one hot dog, anything for eat round there?
Lady, you know hear me say? Braham's Texaco, everything up there.
Braham's Texaco service station and convenience store. Located at Arbor Street, Port Antonio, Long Bay, Portland, 24 Queen Street, Morant Bay, Gale St. Mary. Proud sponsor of In the Know of the Law.
Native Audio Stage and Lighting, now offering stage, lighting, and truss systems for your small and medium-sized events. Whether it's a stage show, concert, drama play, wedding, street party, or club setting, you name it, we'll bring it to life. Call us at 871-5212 or 844-6531. Native Audio Stage and Lighting, a sponsor of In the Know of the Law with Sergeant Delrose Green, and also Real Talk with Lady Cleo and Daddy Rude.
Are you ready? Are you ready? You asked for it. Now we're going to give it to you. Yes, glory to God. Quarantine Church. Right here on Styles of Verb 96.1, 96.5, and 96.7 on your FM band. Remember, download the app from the Google Play Store. Your Styles of Verb. Yes, you can't miss it. When? Sunday, June the 7th. Yes, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with the likes of El Rab, Pastor Lindsay Raymond, Reverend Lewis, and of course the fireman himself, Reverend Bobby Phillips. Get in your yard and enjoy the service, man. The lion will be your host.
Won't you rock my soul? Come on and rock my soul.
Amidst the shocking COVID-19 pandemic, Germany's Auto endorses social distancing with great and exciting discounts on all make vehicles for all potential purchasers. We partner with financial institutions in providing smashing bargains. There's a 50% discount on your processing fee, and Germany's Auto will pay your first month installment in full. Conditions apply. First responders, to include soldiers, police, doctors, nurses, firefighters. We have your interests covered. Healthcare workers, your preferred package warrants special attention. Germany's Auto, 52A West Street, Port Antonio, and White River Ocherius locations awaits your call for your vehicle. 819-0466 and 822-6569.
Oh, I'm here. How you feel, so? Why me have a tea take the whole night last night? You know, go to dentist. After me no know. I mean, you know dentist, you don't know about Portland Smells. Then I wear that there. Right in front of Army Lane at the plaza upstairs as I got Jacob's Law Firm office. Turn right, one nice dentist place up there. Then I wear them do up there, so. They do a lot of things, mama. Extraction, cleaning, examination, filling dentures, root canal, crowns, x-rays. And if you want braces, they do referrals too. Now if you find up there right, you know one can chun too. Because the whole of the in front teeth them are rotten out. Portland Smiles, 42 West Street, Port Antonio. Open Mondays to Fridays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call them at 876-603-9042 or 876-422-3333.
Welcome back, and thank you very much to all my listeners that have stayed with me. Was talking to my coworker on the phone, and I had a good laughter. You know, somebody we got a funeral, and next week Thursday funeral, and she actually think it was tomorrow. So you know, I had a good laugh in between the break. Mr. America, are you still here?
I was actually enjoying the conversation you were having with your co-worker.
No, but you see,
you know, the microphone have on a mute button, right?
Well, actually, you were hearing me because you were still on, but the public would not be hearing us. But
I see.
We're supposed to go funeral, man, and she will line up the vehicle for tomorrow. It's not tomorrow's a funeral, you know. So she called me now. She said, "What time you go ready?" I tell her that I won't be able to ready for tomorrow because it's not tomorrow's a funeral. So I left her laughing away. Mr. Merrick, thank you very much, listeners who have stayed with us. I have been speaking to Mr. Merrick DeMar, a very good friend of mine. He's an attorney, a counselor, a father, a husband. And although he sounds like a Trinidadian mixed up with some Barbadian, he's actually a Jamaican who have done 40 years in the United States of America. So I don't know what to describe him as now. He's a Jamaican. But it's always nice to have Mr. Merrick on the radio with that distinctive tone. Mr. Merrick.
Yes, my dear.
Something has been bothering me. And I want you to explain it to me in case of domestic violence, because you know it is worldwide. A lot of it has been happening, Mr. Merrick, especially during the COVID-19 shut-in time, because we can't fool ourselves. The man or the woman who was abusive didn't pause during the time of the stay home So you can imagine that a lot of domestic violence continued and escalated during this time of lockdown. And in the case of domestic violence, where someone has not yet received a green card, what steps should be taken to safeguard the green card? Somebody asked me the other day, and I couldn't answer. Does this apply to and does this apply to their children as well?
Okay, very good. Thank you for the question. Now, pretty much in a nutshell, what you're asking is that...
No, not give me in a nutshell.
Well, overall then, if a person is married to an American citizen and they have not received their green card as yet, or they might not have received their second green card after the marriage, and they're the victims of domestic abuse. And you're right, I've seen a lot more of that since the shut-ins and the escalated domestic violence that has been taking place. The ways in which you would secure your green card, if you come to realize that your United States citizen spouse is not willing to give you that green card, are as follows. And I'm going to give you 3 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, to get a piece of paper and a writing instrument. So here we go.
Just keep your voice up. You hear, Mr. Mayor?
Say it again?
I said, just keep your voice up a little for me, because the phone line's not so 100 sometimes.
Okay, let me try and do that.
All right, cool.
So, being a victim of domestic violence or domestic abuse, it is important to do the following. Take pictures of if you were hit and there's any welts or swelling or bruising or cuts on your body. Take pictures and make sure your face is in the pictures. And make sure you have a newspaper or some other document that has the current date on it.
Oh.
Make sure you have somebody else with you when you take that picture or those pictures to show that the person did recognize that, in fact, it was that date at that time and that was that was current with what the pictures indicated. Number one. Number two, if you can get any voice recording of the argument that might ensue or the argument that you normally would have with your spouse, that it becomes important. Number three, you can make a report to your pastor. Number four, make a report to your friend. Number five, and most importantly, documents which tend to prove the validity of the marriage. Now, I know I'm going fast, but you'll get the general idea. Documents that tend to prove the validity of the marriage, not only the marriage certificate, DG, but also bills with both names on it, letters with both names on it. You might have your light bill, your gas bill, your rent receipt, your mortgage, any ownership documents with both names on it, any pictures that you have that show that you and the spouse went to dinner, went to people's houses, weddings, funerals. You want to be able to safeguard those things. Number six, you want to get yourself to therapy. You want to make sure that your mental status is strong. You want to be able to walk through this, talk through this, not feel guilty about it, not feel burdened about it. You want to get some type of mental therapy, some type of mental help to have you be able to deal with the issues at hand. And number seven, as soon as you're capable, you want to get out of that situation. Now, does it apply to your children as well? It applies to your children if your children were part of the abuse or they witnessed you being abused. So if your kids were part of the abuse or they witnessed you being abused. Now, remember, DG, abuse does not only mean hitting or being hit. It could be physical, being hit. It could be mental, spiritual, psychological, emotional, sexual, financial. It could be verbal. It goes on and on and on. So in reality, what you want to do is to document everything and make copies of evidence to support that the marriage was in fact valid to begin with. So that's where you stand with that question, DG.
And you say I want to just go over, you see, Mr. Merrick, if you don't have light bill and water rate and things together, what are the other things that you say somebody's asking you just to repeat slower?
Well, before I answer that, notice I did not say to report it to the police if it's just regular abuse, but if it's horrible abuse, you want to get the police involved. Now, if you don't have light bill and gas bill, you want to get letters from relatives, letters from neighbors, letters from friends and family, co-workers to show that the marriage was in fact valid, that they have witnessed the marriage, they have witnessed the relationship, so to speak. They have been to dinners or to events. They have invited you guys over, or you have invited them over. You also want to show photographs, pictures of events that you have attended. You want to show pictures. You know, people take selfies nowadays for absolutely no reasons, especially ugly people. So you want to show a lot of those selfies also with your spouse. You want to show that you might have taken a trip together somewhere. So pretty much, DG, what you want to do is to go to your contacts and have them write letters, your pastor that would write letters for you if you don't have those bills. Now, the trick is, if you don't have those bills, what I would suggest is you yourself, if you see that this thing is getting to be abusive, what I would do is open an account with Amazon, eBay, open an account with a magazine company with both names on it, so that way things come into the house that has both names on it. So the question is, but Mr. MERRICK, you're teaching us how to get around the system. No, I'm not. I'm reminding you as to what is normal within a normal family in terms of accumulation of things, artifacts, and belongings. So these are things that when you really dig deep into your junk drawer, DG, you'll come to realize that you have much more than you expect. An insurance policy, a bank account statement, an Amazon statement, any letters that people would have sent to both of you, invitations, text messages, those type of things you want to accumulate.
Thank you very much, Mr. MERRICK. You know, each time I ask these questions and I hear your answers, I'm just elated, or I have no interest. I'm in a position and a situation, and might be one of the harshest decisions I have to make, because I have no interest in living in the United States of America. I have no interest of living outside of Jamaica. And I sound like I don't have any ambition, don't?
No, in fact, DG, I'm telling you something. Most of my lawyer colleagues who are from Jamaica, and even our family members who are highly educated professionals, I'm talking doctors and lawyers, we have had discussions, and it seems to me that we're all leaning towards returning to Jamaica, even in ideology, because of what is happening in the United States. This is worse, what is happening now, than what took place in April, May, June, and July of 1980 in Jamaica.
You know, I have a son.
And you were around at that time to remember what was happening at that time in Jamaica.
Oh, yes.
This is worse, DG.
You know, I have a son, and I think Trevor left Teachwe School, went to the University of the West Indies, and did international relations, and finished, went on to do his master's for 2 years. And he had the option of migrating. I know, funny enough, I said to him, you're young, you know, don't be like me. He said, Mommy, you know, I know that he is actually in Kingston now, has a very good job, and is in Kingston, got a promotion yesterday. But he said to me, Mommy, I don't want to live in America, you know. And I said to her, well, this must be something in our blood. I love traveling, Mr. MERRICK. I love going, you know, shopping. I love exploring. I love knowing other places. I love coming up there and chatting and laughing, you know, like an accent. But after 3 weeks, I just want to come back to my yard. And I mean, that can't come out of me. You know what I'm saying? But
understand.
And every time I talk about, especially spousal abuse and domestic violence, and being in a strange country and having to go through all of what you just explained for me to prove that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not Jamaica, like me, but I just take up my phone and call down there, so, you know, I mean, the cops say, coming, man.
But at the same time, DG, my caution is always enter into a situation optimistically. If you start to enter into a situation based on other people's experience, then you might never be able to enjoy your own experiences. So you have to, you know, in other words, what I'm saying, I would rather try and fail and learn from my failure than to listen to somebody else's failing story and make up my mind.
But and you are correct. You are so correct. And if I was 21, 22, probably 25 or 27, I would take my chances. Mr. Merrick, we want all goat like me now go. Where are all goat like me, going? Go
Every day I look at you. All I see is somebody in their early 20s. So I don't know what you're talking about, but all goat. You must stop that, man.
Mr. Merrick.
Listen to the young girl blushing.
Mr. Merrick, my daughter is 35 years old.
Wow.
My daughter is 35 years old. My son, my eldest son, is 27. Antoine is 16. I probably look young because my heart shows on my face because I have a good heart. No matter what you do, I can't hate you. I mean, Mr. America, I forgive so easily. I hear people say them can't forgive. I find forgiving so easy. It because so what I've prayed about and believe me, the amount of people do me things even if it more heavy. But that's for another time. Mr. Mer, quickly, because I want to squeeze in another question. All right, somebody just texts in a question there, so let me see if my engineer can help me to get this question. I was going to ask one of my own, but my listeners come first. All right, Mr. Merrick, somebody's asking, right? Your wife divorced you in the U.S. unknown to you. How can you go about getting a copy of the divorce paper? Very good question. Thank you very much for asking that one. He's asking your wife divorced in the U.S. unknown to you. How can you get a copy of the divorce paper?
There are three ways in which it could be done. The first way is if you know the county that the divorce was filed, it becomes public knowledge, public information. You could have yourself or someone go into that county clerk, into the clerk's office, and pay a very small amount, maybe $10 or $12, and give them the information as to the name of the spouse, your name, the date of marriage, the date of birth, and they will give you a copy. That's the first way. The second way, if you're not sure of the county in which it was filed, but you know the state in which it was filed. So let's say you don't know if it's Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, or Staten Island, but you know it was done in New York. Then the other suggestion is to there's an application that you'd use to go to the state capital. In Florida, it's Tallahassee. In New York, it's Albany. You would send that request to the state capital with a money order, with the information, again, the name of the litigants, the husband and wife or the two parties, date of birth, and then you would send the monies with that application, and they will then send you a copy of, well, actually, they'll send you an original copy certified of the divorce. So that's how you'd get it. If you don't know the state or the county, then my third suggestion is going to be a radical suggestion. The suggestion is file a divorce for yourself. And once you put it in, the county clerk is going to say, but wait, a divorce file for you somewhere else, man. Go there and check it out. Then you'll hit that bingo at that point.
All right. Listener, as you're still writing, we're actually putting Mr. Merrick's information on our WhatsApp status. So for the persons who are interested in getting in touch with Mr. Merrick, you can go on our WhatsApp status and see it in a short while. But caller, please write down Mr. Merrick's number. Call him or email him, and he'll be able to assist you further. It's something that you can assist you with, right, Mr. Merrick?
Sure. As long as it's they have the information all around. Because, honestly, no joke. This is not a joke. I've had divorces where I asked the person, when were you married? Boy, I don't remember. Who you married to? I don't remember our name. You don't remember the name of the person you got married to? No. All right, cool. So as long as they know the information, sure. No problem.
All right. So Mr. Merrick's business number is 718-519-6281. Look here. Mr. Merrick Damar, and the email address is dammarlaw782@yahoo.com. That's dammarlaw782@yahoo.com. And Mr. Merrick's number is 718-519-6281. When my brother come and start back in the studio, and I got so distracted. I'm not used to anybody stand up behind me. Mentally, it does do something to me. I don't know what it do. But I don't like anybody behind me. So you must say, I wonder why I tell him, so go on in front of me. But that's how, it's something that, Mr. Merrick, it's something that I get so distracted when anybody stands behind me that me kind of now the function. All right.
And then you being trained as a police officer all these years,
Yes.
it's not safe either. So you always
Exactly.
have that antenna up.
So he's probably wondering, I want to make DG move me. That's the reason, no other reason. I feel a little uncomfortable. And I'm very safe in here. Mr. Merrick, in a situation where a person who received a green card from their spouse and is now getting a divorce because of abuse, what steps do you recommend?
All right, good. Now, that question the answer is going to sound a little bit cheeky, but I'm going to make the suggestions anyway. If you see that you are about to get a divorce from somebody, and in a case of abuse or whatever, you want to safeguard your rights.
Oh, Mr. Merrick, stop 1 minute. Can I just butt in a 1 minute? The person said, thank you, Lord. It was in Florida. So the person is going to contact you because the person have enough information. And the person actually wrote, thank you, Lord. It was in Florida. So the person is going to contact you.
It is important that they mention your name, and what I want them to do, DG, is contact me on Monday, and I'll be happy to help them. There's no charge to it as long as they mention your name. There's absolutely
oh my God!
For this person in particular in Florida.
Okay, all right. Remember now, when you call Mr. Merrick, we must say DG are in the know of the law. DG.
Right.
Can you link it back to in the know of the law? All right. So call Mr. Merrick on Monday. At the number that I gave out a while ago. If you don't hear the number, please look on the status, WhatsApp status, STYLZ WhatsApp status. They just posted it on it for me. Thank you very much for posting it. It is 718-519-6281. Go ahead, Mr. Merrick, and sorry for the butting in.
Yeah, no problem, man. So what you want to do is safeguard your interest for that divorce. Mm-hmm. Now, the way you safeguard your interest is you would like to make sure that you make copies of your spouse's income taxes for at least 2 years going back in time. You would like to make sure that you make copies of his W-2s and pay stubs. If he owns any property that was gained during the marriage, you would want to make sure that you make copies of the deeds or titles to those property, whether it's a piece of land, a house, any type of motor vehicles or boats. If there are any kids born during that marriage, you want to make sure that you have copies of their passport or the passport itself, their social security number, and their birth certificate. You want a copy of the marriage certificate. You also want to make sure that you have enough pictures going back into the days for that divorce. Now, the reason is there are a lot of times when someone gets a divorce from a valid marriage or from a marriage that included abuse. And when they file for the divorce, the other person tries to sabotage them for them to lose the green card by coming back and saying, well, you know what? The marriage wasn't this, the marriage wasn't that, and this was not in place, and that was not in place. So by you safeguarding your future by getting these documents, the taxes, the W-2s, the titles, the pictures, the photographs, the letters, the bank statement, insurance policy, you are actually able to make sure that if and when this comes and hits the fan, you're able to rebut the claims of that spouse or former spouse at that point.
Mr. Merrick, I really want to thank you because you have a wealth of information and you're never, I don't know if I can just squeeze in one more question because I have about 3 minutes left. Can a U.S. citizen who is a convicted felon file for a spouse or other family members?
Yes. Now, a United States citizen who spent time in prison, let's say they spent 5 years in prison or 50 years in prison for a murder or for robbery or arson or for selling drugs or transporting drugs, they are allowed, once they get out, they are allowed to sponsor their spouse.
Really?
There's only one time when you're not allowed to sponsor anyone, and it is when you are a sexual predator, when you were convicted of a sex crime, especially, and this is my strong point, especially to a minor. So if you had anything to do with any sex offenses, especially to a minor, you cannot file not even your fingernail. All right?
You say cannot file not even a fingernail.
Not even a fingernail. So a lot of times people wonder, well, you know, I'm married. I found out that this guy loves me, but he has a criminal record. What can be done? Go ahead and file, as long as it's not a sexual offense. Then he's good.
Oh, and as long as he's not on the list of being deported.
Yes.
I have a few more questions, but the time has run out on me, Mr. Merrick. I am going to call you on Sunday evening when you're having your dinner to arrange to see if you can come in on Monday evening. But whatever time you're available, I love to converse with you. And you do not withhold any information. That's what I love about you. And so.
Anytime you're ready, DJ. Anytime you're ready. And with that in mind, all the best to you. Keep safe. Keep your eyes open. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, your life belongs to you. Cherish it. Don't let anyone hurt you. And if anyone ever hurts you, report it. That's your God-given right. DJ, all the best. Love you.
Mr. No, run it, Mr. Merrick. Use 30 seconds. I know you're all going through a time now of confusion, of hurt, of a lot of emotional, mental, physical, every trauma that you can think about in the United States. I see persons in the UK demonstrating. I see persons in Jamaica supporting. I see persons all over the world. What would you like to say to persons out there now that is really hurting? In encouraging them to push on in what they're doing, but not in a violent way. Mr. Merrick? I think I have lost.
I'm here. Remain focused on the job at hand. Changes is painful. Changes is hurtful. But you have to crack an egg to eat it. Sometimes in life, comfort becomes our own condemnation. In order to bring about changes, we have to make ourselves uncomfortable and do uncomfortable things. So be prepared for the long fight. Be prepared to be uncomfortable. Then and only then will you find your real focus to make the changes. But in order to make the changes, you have to first be the change that you wish to see. Lead by example.
Wow.
That's my message.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Merrick. Those are powerful and sound words, and I want to tell you thanks very much for sending them out.
Always a pleasure.
And I can safely say, see you on Monday evening.
Will do. Bye-bye now.
All the best. God bless you. Thank you very much. That was Mr. Merrick DeMar, an attorney at law from the United States of America, and he is always willing and able to assist us with questions as we ask. I want to say thanks to all our listeners, especially the persons who have took time out to WhatsApp us. Really want to tell you thanks. Can't call all your names because we're completely out of time, but you all mean a lot to us. To all our listeners who have listened, whether you're in Jamaica, the United States of America, UK, Canada, or wherever you are, thank you very much. It's always nice to have you on board. Of course, I want to say thanks to my kind sponsors, Native Audio Stage and Lighting, Braham's Texaco, and Portland Smiles, as also MT Landscaping Services. To my very able engineer Cassidy, who is always here with me. This have been your program in the Know of the Law. I've been your host, Sergeant Delrose Green, DG Angel, saying take care, God bless you, and walk good. Bye-bye. God. How well do you know the law?